Hey, welcome back. If this is your first time here, welcome to Utterly Sea, which is a YouTube channel where I most often talk about African movies and TV shows, sort of analyzing the recurring themes around race, class, gender, love, romance, sexuality, that kind of thing. So, what stories do we keep telling? What stories keep coming up, and how do we tell them? Lately, I've been talking about abuse, gender-based violence and abuse, and analyzing the way that we talk about that. So on podcasts, analyzing the way that people talk about it and the areas that they choose to focus on. Incidentally, this week in Kenya, the Robert Burale and Rozinah Mwakideu interviews sort of took the the interwebs by storm, and it's what people are talking about. And so I would like us to talk about that. It's been discussed almost exhaustively, and part of what concerns me is we're not talking enough. Like, I haven't had a single person talk about it, but that may be my algorithm, and the way that I've set up my thing, and that could be my own weakness. But I don't hear people talking about it in terms of abuse and the abusive behaviors that are evident in that story. So I would like us to talk about that. I would like us to talk about it specifically, looking at the abusive things, the emotional and psychological abusive tactics and behaviors that we can pick from the narrative. Before we dive in, I would like us to read something from Why Does He Do That by Landy Bancroft. And so in the book, Landy Bancroft analyzes the psychology and like the reasoning, the thinking, the attitudes behind why abusers do the things that they do. And he, in the chapter called The Nature of Abusive Thinking, talks about the recurring themes that they see among different abusers. And then in the following chapter, he talks about what the myths versus the reality. The myths versus the reality about abusers. So I want us to start with that, and then we'll come back to that at the end and sort of see the themes and the realities about abuse that we have picked from the story. So where possible, keep this in mind as you hear their story, as you hear them tell the story, and then we'll come back and see what Bancroft said about abusers and abuse, and what we saw, what we heard in the story. Okay, cool. I hope I hope that's clear. I hope we're able to do that. So I'm gonna read you what Bancroft said. So the 5 recurring themes in the narratives of abusers, the ones that they have found. Number 1, his version of abuse is different from hers. Number 2, he gets insanely jealous, but in other ways he seems entirely rational. Number 3, he succeeds in getting people to take his side against her. Number 4, during some incidents he seems to lose control, but certain other controlling behaviors of his appear very calculated. And number 5, sometimes he tends to be really changing, but it tends to vanish. Okay, and then 10 realities about abusers. So there are a lot of myths about abusers that zinatanda all over in our society, and so Bancroft focuses on this is the reality, right? Okay, number 1, he is controlling. Number 2, he feels entitled. Number 3, he twists things into their opposite. Number 4, he disrespects his partner and considers himself superior to her. Number 5, he confuses love and abuse. Number 6, he is manipulative. Number 7, he strives to have a good image. Number 8, he feels justified. Number 9, abusers deny and minimize their abuse. And number 10, abusers are possessive. All right, so we will come back to this. We will come back to this list, the 2 lists, and see what what's in the list and what we find in the stories as well. Okay, so this is how we'll play this out. I suspect it'll be a little long, but this is how we'll play it. I'll play a clip, and then we'll talk about it kidogo. We'll start with Burale's interview, which was slightly shorter, and then we will move to Rozinah Mwakideu's interview, which was a lot more detailed, and that will take up the bulk of our time. So yeah,
Yeah. Ni vile tulimwacha dada yetu. Ama ni alikuacha?
Ama yeye ndo aliniacha.
Ama muliwachana. Unajua tujai kujua by the way.
I know.
Okay.
Alafu tena niseme tu for clarification.
Okay.
Robert nilimwacha.
Right out the gate, there's a difference in the way they speak. Robert Burale, he is not straightforward at all. Like, nothing he says is clear. Nothing he says is just basic language that you can understand. It's just all of these theories and like nothing is clear. But Rozinah speaks clearly. When she's done speaking, you can say exactly what she said. With Burale, at the end of it, we don't even know who left whom. Out the gate, Rozinah is like, I left him. I left that bugger, I left him. That is an important thing to keep in mind as we dive into their stories. Just observe. Observe the way Robert Burale speaks and the way Rozinah Mwakideu speaks. Observe. Look at the clarity. Look at the clarity of expression. All right, cool.
Let me ask you something else, because a lot of marriages today zinavunjika because of cheating.
Yes.
Cheating is one big issue.
Yeah.
Okay, cheating is one big issue. Another issue that mi husema ndoa inavunjika ni violence.
Yes.
Naget.
That's true.
Yako haikuwa violence.
There was no violence in my marriage.
Haikuwa cheating.
There was no infidelity in my marriage. I know, right?
Robert Burale.
Yes, sir.
Haikuwa violence.
There was no violence. There was no
Haikuwa cheating.
infidelity. Yeah. To be honest.
What is this other reason that you want to give the world and tell the world there's this other thing here?
I think for me, to be honest, Alex, was I speak for myself.
Yeah.
And this is not about age. Because you can be 70 and not ready for marriage.
Yeah.
You can be 24 and mature for marriage.
Okay.
I think for me, it was a time where I didn't step up.
Okay.
Let me speak for myself.
All right. Okay.
I should have been maybe more mature not physically, spiritually. I should have been more mature with my ecosystem, the people around me.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
Not all, of course.
Quick. Who can tell us why the marriage ended according to Burale? Who knows? He didn't step up. He should have been more mature with his ecosystem. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean, guys? That should tell you everything. That should tell you, if not everything, a lot. A lot.
And I also made my mistakes in the marriage.
All right.
Let me speak for myself, to be honest.
All right.
I did make my mistakes. And I think one of the greatest mistakes we made as a couple is that we also allowed too many people to speak into our marriage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Which is something I tell many people. Don't bring everybody into your issues. Because some who call themselves friends don't really want you to be together. So be careful how you bring in people.
This is another one. This is a piece of advice that women are given all the time. And somehow it's only given to women. And I think it's very dangerous. And I think that it is part of the way that society prepares us and socializes us to be, just victims of abuse, victims of men's manipulation. So, I've seen this in many, many places. This is, for example, in Diamond Platinum's song. Diamond has a song that I love. It's called Nitarejea. In the song, he promises his wife that he will go to the big city, Dar es Salaam, and work and bring back the money for her and the kids. His wife says, when you get there safely, remember us, and that you've left your wife and kids under troubling conditions. She sings, unapokwenda kama ukifika salama, utukumbuke na sisi, kumbuka mkeo na wana nyumbani, umetuacha na dhiki. Then Diamond comes in some kind of parting shot and says, vile usijali, ila naomba chunga sana, ogopa na marafiki. He's saying, don't worry, I hear you, just one thing, be very careful about friends. But the word he uses is, ogopa na marafiki, which is literally, be afraid of friends. In the next lines, he adds he's not going to believe any lies that his friends tell him. Here we're obviously talking about half friends and the dangers they pose to this relationship between Diamond and this girl. Be very wary of men like these, of men who talk about, keeping your relationship out of other people's mouths, keeping your relationship and whatever issues you're facing away from other people. One of the ways that women who are caught up in abusive relationships are able to escape is by telling someone. You tell one other person and they're like, yo, this isn't normal. This isn't right. This is not normal and it's not right and you don't deserve this. Because a lot of times when you're caught up in an abusive relationship, you're made to feel like it's your fault. Like there's something you're doing to deserve this. Right? And then like the most outrageous things, because of the way you manipulated, the way he's messing with your mind, the most outrageous things seem normal to you. Right? Seem normal in this context, especially when you're not telling anybody. Talking is how women get out of these things. Talking to other women is how women get out of these things. It's how somebody says, yo, that's not normal, it's not right, that should not be happening. And so be very wary of men who are like, we need to keep our business in-house. You don't need to be telling people things. No, tell people. Because they're not being dicked down by this nigga. And so they have a lot more clarity than you do. They have a lot more clarity than you do. You were confused or something. Even if it's not an abusive relationship, you may not really be seeing things clearly. You may have some blind spots around this guy.
I am seeing a female. I am seeing a female. I am seeing a female.
Need I say more? Need I say more? The misogyny here. Red flag, red flag, red flag. Red flag. How you calling a woman you're dating a female? Oh, God. And like, we can't even go through the homophobia and misogyny that was in this clip. Like, Jesus Christ. He goes on for 19 minutes. 19 minutes. Misogyny and homophobia. Oh, women sending their sons to their bags. Oh, women buying, I don't know, pink boxes for their sons. Women taking their sons to the salon. Like, what? Misogyny, homophobia. Red flags. Red flags. Red flags. Also, it's important to note that most abusive men, or at the very least, there's a higher risk of a man being an abusive man if he holds on to traditional gender roles and traditional norms around gender. Chances skyrocket, and the way this man talks,
What are the reasons huyu mwanamke anaweza kusema huyu mwanamume imetosha sasa na muacha?
Number one, if there's violence.
There's violence, all right.
There's a group of women, I don't know who lied to them, that when a man beats you, it means he loves you.
Nimesikia hiyo.
And then it's called make-up sex. They say sex is best after violence.
Hiyo pia nimesikia.
That's bloody mandazi. If he beats you once, he'll beat you again.
Okay.
So many things to break down here. So, number one, apparently one of the main reasons that relationships end is because of violence against women. You see, men like these, and men in general, are always in a hurry, in a big rush to virtue signal by talking about violence against women. Oh, domestic violence. They will never talk about abuse. They will never talk about power imbalances. They will never talk about gender hierarchies that position men as a head of household and the women as subordinate. They will never talk about that. They will never talk about submission that is required of women. They will never talk about that. They're quick to talk about violence because they're not engaging in that type of violence and abuse. One of the things that's interesting about abusers is they only consider what other men do abusive, not what they do. So if a man, for example, controls your money, how much you can spend, what you can buy, where you can go, that kind of thing, he may control that, but he doesn't think that's that's abusive. He doesn't. He thinks abuse is beating a woman. And then the man who slaps his wife occasionally, right? slaps, maybe once or twice punches him, he doesn't think that's violence. Because, other men, like, they beat their wives so bad they end up in hospital. So, like, an abuser to them is a man who puts his wife in a hospital. The thing about abusers, and just generally maybe human beings, is we do not consider the thing that we're doing terrible. It's what other people are doing is terrible. And that is why you should not take seriously men who talk about violence, but they don't talk about abuse. But they don't talk about gender roles. They don't talk about gender hierarchies. They don't talk about the submission that's required of women. They don't talk about the social expectation that men be the leader, the head of a household. Don't take them seriously. Do not take them seriously. They're only willing to concede about the thing that does not benefit them, about the thing that they don't enjoy. Alright? That's it. And then the way he keeps saying bloody Mandazi, fuck him. What the fuck? What did Mandazi ever do to him? He sounds so immature, like he's trying to be cool or something. So bloody Mandazi. Shut up! What a useless man. And then, so now we're talking about violence against women, right? That's what we're talking about. And he fixes his mouth. Both of them. They fix their mouth to talk about women. And, women's problem. This idea that women now think, that women think, if a man beats you, he loves you. Where did women get that idea? Fuck you. You have an opportunity to talk about violence against women, and you're choosing to talk to the victims? To criticize the victims about doing makeup sex? Fuck you. That's how you know he does not care. He does not care about violence against women. He does not care about the abuse that women face. He doesn't give a fuck. This is virtue signaling. If he cared at all about the abuse that women face, he'd be talking to the men. He'd be like, fellas, what's up? Why y'all doing this? Stop it. This is some bullshit. He could have said that. Except he chooses to criticize women. The victims. Dude. Red flag. Huh? Red flag. For an abuser, red flag. Any man who, when he has the choice, the opportunity to criticize men, to speak to men about their abuse and their bad behavior, when he has the chance to do that, chooses instead to direct his criticism towards women, towards victims. That is a man you need to be careful around. Like, you need to stay away from this motherfucker. That's what you need to do. You need to stay away from this motherfucker. That's what you need to do. Shit. Fixing his mouth to criticize. and then the host is like, yeah, that means it's good.
Feel you're at an age for marriage. Marry because you want to be a husband, not that you want a wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
Marry because you want to be a husband,
not that you want a
wife.
No. Because if you want to be somebody's husband, you prepare yourself as a man. But if you want a wife and you don't want to be a husband, your erection is what guides you.
Robert Burale, my brother, I tell you, punchline after punchline. Marry because you want to be a husband.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Marry because you want to be a husband. Wewe mwenyewe ushajiamulia.
That's right.
Kwamba you've made a decision with yourself that I think I'm ready to be a husband.
That's right.
And now I want to be a husband.
That's right.
Not because you want a wife.
Yes. So men should want to be husbands and women should want to be wives and not looking for a husband. Unfortunately, there are very many women looking for husbands and they don't want to be wives. Yeah. So when
you are not ready to be a husband.
I think I was ready. I just didn't move with the pace that I should have. Yeah. Maybe I'd been too fast or too slow at some point. Yeah.
It took you 1 year, right? Was it 1 year?
Yeah. And 1 year and a few days.
Burale.
Yeah.
Okay, once again, just on clarity. Who understood anything this nigga said? No, who understood what he said? Okay, so, number one, again, on why his marriage ended. So it wasn't that he wasn't ready. It was that he didn't, what did he say this time? He didn't say step up. He said he didn't, Let's hear it.
I just didn't move with the pace that I should have.
He didn't move with the pace. Oh my God. Like, friends, what does that mean? What does that mean? He didn't move with the pace. What is that? Oh. I swear to God, this is a fucking con man. What does that mean? You need to be very careful around people who do not speak clearly. Who do not speak. Now we have to interpret what this motherfucker means. And then wait. So you should marry as a man when you're ready to be a husband. And women, once again, we have to criticize women. A lot of women, they want to get married, but they don't want to be wives. Friends, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? So now we have to do the work of interpreting and trying to figure out what this means, right? Right? Okay, so the way I understand it, and I think I'm right, it's the thing that he doesn't want to say, but it's the truth. This is an advocation. Can you say advocation? This is a campaign, right? For gender roles, for traditional gender roles. You have to want to be a wife. You have to be ready to be a wife. What is being a wife if not being submissive? What else is being a wife in the society? And then he says, you have to want and be ready to be a husband and not necessarily be looking for a wife. What else can you be a husband to? What else can you be a husband to? Like, husband must necessarily, in this heterosexual context, mean to a wife. You can't husband yourself. Unless animal husbandry. That's not important. You can't husband like yourself. You can't husband on your own. Right? It is part of like a duo. It's yin yang. It has to have like a, core something. It has to. So now this is just some bullshit. You have to be ready to be a husband and not be looking for a wife. What? That's some bullshit. That is some bullshit that we're just supposed to think it's clever and wise and I don't know. Something. It's that PLO nonsense. You're just stringing words along and then to sound smart or I don't know. To look something. And nigga, you don't look smart or sound smart. You sound dumb. You sound dumb as He sounds dumb as Let me tell you. Another red flag. Any man who talks about women having to be wives and men husbands and he's not talking about partnership, fuck him. That's a red flag. What you want is a partnership. That's what you want. A relationship of equals, partners, that's what you want. Anybody's talking to you about husband-wife dynamics and you being a wife? Well, fuck them. That's a person you need to be very wary of. Especially because, and I will repeat it again, men who hold on to traditional values, men who hold on to traditional gender roles are more likely to be abusive than men who don't. The risk is far much higher. Listen, stay safe out there. Leave these men who are holding on to traditional views and values alone. Leave them alone.
Meet him in a restaurant.
Yeah.
Where food is delayed.
Yes.
You see whether he's patient or not.
Yeah.
Make sure.
Yeah.
If a man who has taken you on a date does not tip.
Yes.
The waiter.
Yes.
Chana huyo mtu. Such small things say a lot. Yes.
Burale, why? Why is that important?
It shows the heart of care.
And
if they bring 350 shillings.
Yes.
So 200 not, 100 shillings not, and 50 not.
Yeah.
If the man takes the 300 and leaves the 50, discipline that man. Let him leave the 200.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
He's a sacrificial man. Imagine mwanaume mzima amekukatia. 6 months.
Yes.
Then inakuja 260 shillings.
Yes.
Anatoa 250 anacha 10 bob. What a bloody mandazi. It says a lot about somebody. It is in the small things.
Yeah.
First of all, the way he keeps saying bloody mandazi, you know what? Is it like, what in the childish immaturity is this? Second, this is just some classist bullshit. If we're being honest, this is some classist bullshit. Tipping is not indicative of a heart of care. Tipping is a cultural, social thing, right? There's places where people tip, there's places where people don't. Second, I hate men who talk like this. First of all, this is some classist bullshit, which you've already said. But I hate men who say things like, discipline that man. My God. This is the same nonsense that they used to say to women, the man is the head of the house, but you're the neck. It's just bullshit. There's nothing there. There's literally nothing there. They're not saying anything. Discipline that man. How are you going to tell somebody how to spend their money? Like, you're on a date, right? You're on a date. Like, you don't know how much money the man has. Why would you tell him how to spend his money? Discipline that man? That's some shit that's said so that you can feel like, as a woman, like you have some power, some authority, some control. You don't have shit. You do not have shit. You don't have shit. This is just the same, the man is the head, the woman is the neck. You don't have shit. The man is in control, he's in charge. Second, you have no business telling somebody how to spend their money. You do not have any business telling somebody how to spend their money. You're on a date, you don't know how much money this person has. Maybe they sacrificially bought you this thing. Why do they need to be sacrificial in a performative way with the waiter? For what? For what? For what? Oh my God. This is red flags according to a walking red flag. Like, nobody. This is not a red flag. Tipping is not a red flag. Especially not in our context. Especially not in our context.
It is in the small things.
Yeah.
Many people look at the big things. That's why they get hurt in marriage.
All right.
You look, he has a big car. He has biceps and triceps. And he has, you done what? He smells good. No, it's in the very small things.
Yeah.
Conflict resolution. How is he patient when food has been delayed?
Yeah.
How does he handle women older than him, women his age and women younger than him?
Yeah.
That says what he will be with you.
Yeah.
How does he handle his mother? I'm not saying marry a mama's boy, but you must marry a man who honors and respects his mother.
How does he handle it when food has been delayed? Hello? If there's one thing men are, and particularly abusive men, is they're actors, they're pretenders. Oh my God, men can act. Men can pretend. And abusers in particular are just award-winning actors. What is it to pretend to not be frustrated by a waiter? What is it? That's not a lot. That is not a lot. And the fact is, the thing that these abusers in particular try to make us believe is that abusers are, inappropriate and like unkind and rude and mean to everybody. They're not. They're not. They're only rude, mean, and kind and unable to resolve conflict in respectful ways with their partners, with the people that they have chosen to be like that with. So if he has no business trying to abuse a waiter, he's going to act for you. He's going to pretend. If anything, abusers are charming. A good number of them are charming. People love them. People love them so much. And they cultivate these relationships in this way. So that when you come out and you're like, oh man, this motherfucker abused me, people are going to be like, nah, we know him. And that's a good man. That's a wonderful man. What is she talking about? What is she talking about? So this is just red flags according to a red flag. There's nothing there. There is nothing there. I think a better test that I've seen when it comes to abusive men and men in general to see if you can trust yourself around them. One of them is, you're at the restaurant. If he say you're at the restaurant, right? You want to sit somewhere else. He wants to sit somewhere else. You insist on sitting where you want. See what he does, right? He wants to sit inside. You want to sit outside. You're like, nah, I'm not feeling it inside. Let's go sit outside. See what he does then. See what he does then, because you're contradicting him, right? You're disagreeing with him. He wants to order you something, right? Like it's his favorite restaurant. You go, he's like, oh, I've had the whatever here, and yeah, so let's have that. And you're like, no, I'm not feeling that. Yeah, see what he says. Because men don't take it easy, don't take it well when you say no, particularly, and here we're talking about abusive men, they don't take it well when you say no, when you contradict them. What they want is for you to fall in line. And even from day one, you'll be able to see if they look, a little irked. That's a better test than whatever this is. Looking at the waiter and tips? Oh my God. What a loser. What a total loser.
Women his age and women younger than him. Yeah. That says what he will be with you. Yeah. How does he handle his mother? I'm not saying marry a mama's boy.
This is a total mama's boy. Oh, how he handles women his age, women older than him, and women younger than him. What a loser and a lie. Those are not indicative of anything. Once again, abusers are extremely charming. Alright, for the most part, a good number of them, extremely charming. And they're not like that with everybody. Like, we need to just let this sink in. Abusers are not terrible to everybody. They're not. Otherwise, it wouldn't work. They choose their victim, and that's who gets, majority of their vitriol. They're not like that with everybody. Very few abusers are terrible across board. Most of them, performers, wonderful actors. They're not like that with everybody.
I went to minister in their church. She was there. And we talked. We have a very respectable, cordial relationship.
Yeah.
As of your family.
Yeah.
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 All of you are like my brothers.
Yeah. Familia zetu ziko tu.
Kabisa. Yeah.
Ni vile tulimwacha dada yetu. Ama yeye alikuacha.
Ama yeye ndo aliniacha.
Ama muliwachana. Unajua tujai kujua by the way.
I know.
And I like that. Let me tell you something. There is something I respect about grown-ups.
That's
is that there is always respect even when you...
Oh, that's right.
I mean, watu wazima and watu
Sadly,
wazima.
not all of them. There are people who...
Si wengi.
Wanawachana, wanakuwa
Yes,
bloody mandazi
inakuwa
sana.
kelele. Inakuwa yani kelele mtandaoni na kadhalika. So yours was really
amicable and
amazing.
My respect for her and for you guys as my brothers and my friends will always be there.
How many times is he going to say this bloody mandazi thing? Useless. So respectability politics has entered the room. Hello. So they're here celebrating the fact that they kept it respectable. Hakujai kuwa na issues online. How even Alex doesn't know what happened. Like, dude, what? That is not a function of like things being respectable, and that is not a good sign that you don't know what happened. He talks about how things were respectable, amicable, and how he continues to respect Rozinah. Like, dude, what? No. This respectability politics, this idea that we must keep things cordial and whatever, no. Certainly not with abusers. Given what we come to find out, certainly not with abusers. The thing about abuse and abusive behavior is it thrives in darkness. Right? When you don't talk about it, it thrives. So nobody is saying, oh, this person did this person does that. And so they continue to just go along harming people. The thing is, abuse is like maybe cockroaches, I don't know, or darkness. Like, when you expose it to light, it dies. And that's the one thing abusers don't want. It's the one thing they never want, for you to tell another person what's going on, for them to be exposed for the frauds that they are, because they care a lot about their, reputation and appearance. They never want people to know what they're doing. So, fuck respectability. Fuck it. And it keeps coming up again, even on Rozinah's interview.
Healed. I respect Robert Burale.
Okay.
I see the work that he has done.
Okay.
A lot of people are inspired by him, are mentored by him, follow him. And I mean, he's doing the work.
Okay.
So I have nothing against him, to be very honest.
Okay.
It's just that kurudiana nayo haiwezi.
Fuck respectability. Fuck it. Expose them. Expose the works of evil, man. Even the Bible says that. Expose the works of evil. Everything done in the dark must be brought to the light. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Okay, and now we're in Rozinah's story. This is where it starts. And we'll do it in sort of, let's say, themes. So like love bombing together, and then we'll talk about something like manipulation together, lying together, that kind of thing. So it wouldn't necessarily be as she told it. More thematic.
Yako haikuwa violence.
There was no violence in my marriage.
Haikuwa cheating.
There was no infidelity in my marriage. I know, right?
Robert Burale.
Yes, sir.
Haikuwa violence.
There was no violence. There was no
Haikuwa cheating.
infidelity. Yeah. To be honest.
What is this other reason that you want to give the world and tell the world there's this other thing here? Ilikuwa ni attempt ya 3.
Ilikuwa ni attempt ya 3.
So hiyo ya mwisho tusichaje attempt ilikuwa ulitoka na ulitoka.
Ilikuwa nimetoka.
So you had 2 attempts za kutoka.
Yeah.
Ulijaribu kutoka mara 2. In a period of 1 year, Rozinah, ya kuoana na mtu 1 year, 12 months. Ulijaribu mara 2 kutoka. Na mara ya 3 ndo ukatoka. So in 1 year, you basically, you've been just trying to live. You look like you've been just trying to live in a period of 1 year.
No. In a period of 1 year, I've been trying so hard for this marriage to work.
Okay.
But also in that period of 1 year, these 2 times that I tried to go and came back, it was really like, I cannot. I'm losing myself. I could die trying to make this marriage work.
Okay.
I could die trying to make this marriage work.
Okay.
And the 3rd time I went, it was okay. I have to. It was by the way, it was for me, it was like nisemeje yani nilikuwa ni a matter of life and death.
Really?
It's a matter of life and death.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
But there was no violence.
There was no violence. True.
It's interesting how, and this comes up even in the Burale interview, this idea that a marriage is only bad, or at least bad enough to justify leaving, if there's violence or infidelity, and in particular violence. There's this failure to understand that there are things that are worse than violence, and you see this a lot in the work of Evan Stock in Coercive Control. There are things that are worse than violence. The way that somebody harms your spirit, destroys your soul, your personhood. There are things that are worse than violence. There are things that are worse than violence. And I really like that this is where the story started, because she set it up that it was a matter of life and death, right? She tried to make it work, as all, maybe not all, but like as women are socialized to do. You're supposed to make it work. You're supposed to try. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to try and make it work. And she says that's what she was doing. In that 1 year, she was trying. And it wasn't enough. It was, by the time she was leaving, a matter of life or death. She was either going to stay and die or find a way to live and leave. I really love that that's where it starts, because she sets it up, with the seriousness that it deserves. This is how serious it is. It was a matter of life or death. And life and death, a relationship isn't just a matter of life and death because of physical injury, physical harm. There's worse things than being physically harmed. There are other ways that you can be wounded, that you can be hurt, that you can be destroyed even. There are other ways. And we should probably talk about that. The limits of the violence model, as enumerated by Stark. So, Evan Stark is a researcher and an author. He passed away, and he wrote the book Coercive Control, and he did a lot of research on that. Coercive control has even become illegal in certain countries. It's the recognition that the violence model is inadequate. And the violence model is inadequate because, number one, it's not always visible. Number two, violence focuses on individual discrete assaults, right? And that's not how abuse works. Abuse is not about individual discrete assaults or instances of harm. It's about the compounding nature of it. Violence, there's only injuries in about 5% of the cases. And in about 1 to 2% of the cases, there's serious injury. So, these are such few numbers, right? And then even fewer of those cases culminate in femicide. So, if you wait for serious injury, you'll miss too much abuse and it will be too late. If you wait for physical, manifestations of serious injury, you will miss too much abuse and it will be too late. And this is the foundation of coercive control and models that focus on abuse overall and not necessarily physical violence. So, the violence model is too violence focused. There's more to abuse and injury than physical violence. It's too injury based. So, like, they broke your hand, they broke this, they did this. Injury has to be a marker, right? So, if there's no physical injury, then that's out. And one of the problems with this is something like, for example, choking, right? There are people whose skin color doesn't show. And so it's not considered as an injury, and it's not necessarily picked up by, for example, nurses and doctors, first responders. It's not picked up because it doesn't show, and so it's not counted. Injury as a marker. And then it also focuses on the home. Domestic violence focuses on the home. It's the idea that harm can only be done to you, like when you're in close proximity to the abuser. But that's not how abuse works, right? A person could be very far from you and they're still controlling you. And they're still exercising all forms of control over your life. So, for this reason, the violence model does not work. And I like that she starts by showing us that it can be life or death, even without the violence that we have come to expect. That abuse is not always visible, right? And very few cases actually involve injury. Even fewer cases involve serious injury, and even fewer cases lead to culminate in femicide. And if we continue to wait for serious injury in order to take abuse seriously, we will miss too much abuse, and we will be too late when it comes to rescuing women. So, I love that she sets it up this seriously. She may be laughing, and it's because it's been a while and she looks so good. Oh my God. But it's serious. She's setting it up as a serious matter.
Alafu wacha niseme, red flags zinakuanga.
Okay.
Ukiona red flags, usijaribu kuhepa red flag. Ukiona red flag, kubali ni red flag. Mimi, nilivokutana na Robert Burale, number 1, alinitisha pesa nyingi sana ghafla binvu. After knowing him for a few days. Unanielewa?
Okay.
For a very few days. Akanambia kuna estate ya babangu nini, lawyer anahitaji pesa fulani, kitoka nitakurudishia pesa hivi na hivi. You understand? Me nikamwambia mimi sina hiyo pesa because I don't know you first of all. Second of all, it's a huge amount of money.
How much was it?
Like 250,000. Hiyo time hiyo 2011.
All right.
And so anyway, hiyo ikatoka. Mimi sikuchukulia anything anyway. But we continued talking.
Okay.
So for me, that I think that any person who meets a person and asks for money immediately, that's a red flag. It doesn't matter who you are.
All right. Whether ni mwanamke ama ni mwanamume.
And it's just like as in mtu yoyote tu haijalishi because I don't know you.
Okay.
2 days,
all
3
right.
days.
All right.
No.
Into knowing each
into knowing each other.
2 or 3 days into knowing her, he was already asking for large sums of money. One of the things abusers try to do is they try to make it look like you're closer than you are, right? That there's this false intimacy. They try to make it seem like y'all are really close. Like, dude, what? I don't know you like that. I do not know you like that.
Get back, you don't know me like that. Get back, you don't know me like that.
Lakini hapo ujue kitambo anakuitisha hiyo pesa ama amenitisha mimi hiyo pesa. Amesha nionyesha vile ananipenda, mimi ndio the perfect woman for him.
Okay.
Ya kwamba mimi ndiye. na anataka in those few days by the way amekuja na mapenzi ya kasi.
Amekuja na mapenzi ya kasi
mengi sana. Alafu unajua mimi ni msichana saa hizo na tukua wadogo by the way. I was I think 36 or 37, he's a little bit older than I am.
Yeah.
So ni mtu mzima mimi.
Nyote ni watu wazima.
Yes, ni watu wazima. Lakini mapenzi yamekuja ya kwamba wewe ndio unataka nitakuoa nini na nini. Anyway, after that speedy nyingi sana. Mimi nikamwambia of course sina pesa lakini bado akapasu.
Okay.
This instant love at first sight, red flag and extremely dangerous, right? So let's see what love bombing is. Love bombing is an attempt to influence another person with over-the-top displays of affection and attention. Love bombing is a popularized term used to describe overwhelming and often incongruent affection during the early stages of a relationship. One person goes above and beyond to please the other person by giving excessive compliments, pushing for commitment or more time together, making grand gestures, and sending over-the-top gifts. Be very wary of those people who are telling you, you're it, there's no woman like you're the best, they must marry you, What? I know you like that.
Get back, you don't know me like that. Get back, you don't know me like that.
Unasema kwamba alianza mapenzi na kasi sana.
Ya kusema, ya kuniambia, unanielewa?
There's a word for that. I've forgotten what it is, but it's where they sort of tie your futures together, right? That they're getting you to now start to imagine, like in her case, ministry together. Like they even do things like, imagine our kids together, everything we're gonna do together. So now in your head, right, your futures are meshing. Your whatever dreams you have are starting to mesh with his. And in the case of men who are, particularly, like, let's say wealthy, they can really like steal your future in a way. So they'll tell you something like, like you always wanted to go to France, for example, and they're like, you know what? We're going to France next year. You always wanted to say, you want to graduate with something, like you want to go back to school and do something. And it's like, when we're married, when we're together, I'm going to support us. You're going to take the time off and you're going to go back to school. And so now your future is sort of tied with his in a way. You're starting to picture it, right? You're starting to picture it and ignoring all manner of red flags because you're picturing it, right? We're going to be together. And now every time you think about going back to school, that dream is sort of tied and meshed with him, right? Now he is a part of that because he's going to take care of you and take care of things financially when you go back to school. Like, be very wary of people who are already sort of planning your future, meshing your futures together when y'all don't even know each other like that. Mapenzi ya kasi, the way she says it. I really love how she says it. Mapenzi ya kasi.
Eventually alikuleta?
Eventually ilifika wakati kwamba tushafika tunataka kuoana. Hapo tena ukumbuke harusi imeanza kupangwa haraka. Exactly.
Okay.
We actually did.
Rozinah, by the way, since you guys met, how long did you guys take before you got married?
It was very short, but not that short. I think it was almost a year. Because we got married in August of 2012. And I met Burale, I think, in somewhere late in November, 2011. Mwisho ya 2011 huko.
Alafu mkaoana 2012.
Yeah, August.
These people met, if I'm not wrong, they met online. And then they met in person. Let's say they met in person in November of 2011, right? Because she cites November. They meet in November of 2011. They don't live in the same counties, right? In the same, I think it was provinces. That's how old I am. They don't live in the same provinces. He lives in Nairobi, she lives in the Coast Province. How often do you think they see each other? They get married in 10 months. Inside 10 months of knowing each other. 10 months. 10 months. 10 months. And y'all don't even live in the same province. In the same geographical area. Like, 10 months. 10 months. Like, Listen, I can't handle it. 10 months. 10 months. Not even a year. 10 months. And y'all don't see each other with any kind of frequency. 10 months. Mapenzi ya kasi. The way she said it. Mapenzi ya kasi. He's already organizing the wedding. Mapenzi ya kasi.
So siku moja nikamwambia mimi naja kwa bradhangu. And akanambia sawa. Kija siku hiyo hakuna mash, hakuna flight. I mean ni mash, hakuna flight, hakuna SGR. Nikakuja pale Bellevue.
Yeah.
Akaja akanichukua. Robert Burale badala kunipeleka kwako venye nimemweleza, gari teke paka wapi? Karen. Mimi namwambia nitakwenda kwa brother wangu, sema njoo pumzika, unywe chai nyumbani.
In the first time. Not the first time you're meeting.
First time.
Okay.
Si first time.
All right.
So ni kama mara ya pili hivi nafikiri. Napeleka paka Karen kwao bwana. So yesterday, not yesterday, when he was saying here, and it's a scripture and it's true. Huwezi cheza na moto na usichomeke.
Usichomeke,
Huwezi kaa kwenye moto na usichomeke.
Yeah.
Alikuwa anajibu kusema kwamba haleti mtu kukaa na yeye chumba kimoja. Unanielewa?
Yes.
Mimi alinipeleka kwao, tulikaa kwa chumba kimoja, tukalala kitanda kimoja. Hakuna kitu kilifanyika, by the way. Nothing happened, truthfully.
Your time?
No, nothing happened. Celibate, sote, wawili.
Okay.
Then it was for long. It was for almost a month, over a month. By the way, it was long.
Of the same?
Yes. It was not one night, or 2 nights, or 1 week. Nilikaa pale sana. Nilikaa by the way.
Kwani mimi nimelaaniwa?
Nataka uelewe ya kwamba nilipokaa pale, sikuwa mimi nimetaka kuenda pale by the way. Mimi nilikuwa naja nikija kwako. So, in that period pia tumekaa pale, nikawa nataka kuondoka. Kila siku ananiambia nitakupeleka kesho. Nitakupeleka kesho. I will take you tomorrow. So, hiyo kesho ilikuwa haifiki. Ataenda shughuli zake arudi jioni au kumechelewa kesho nitakupeleka. So, siku moja alafu tayari hapo nimeanza kuona signs zingine tofauti sana.
Rozinah comes to Nairobi, right? This is about the second time they're meeting. This is the second time they're meeting in person. She wants to go to her brother's house. She was coming to her brother's house. Burale picks her up, takes her to his home in Karen. And keeps her there. And every day, I lie. Oh, I'll take you tomorrow. And he never takes her. She did not want to be there. He knew she did not want to be there. And he kept her there. Knowing full well that she wants to go home, he keeps her there. Wants to go to her brother, he keeps her there. With lies. Every day. Lies. Like, this is scary.
So siku moja nikasema mimi nitahepa tu. One time there was this taxi driver alikuwa na
ulikasana mpaka ukamua kuhepa?
Nilikuwa nimesema lazima nihepe sasa. It was plan exit escape.
Unataka kuhepa?
Kuhepa aso. Kuhepa aso.
Unataka kuhepa Karen?
Yes.
Ukuje Great Apartments?
Yes.
Beijing Road?
Yes. Na unajua mimi ni mgeni Nairobi hapo
sasa. Yes.
Sipajui sana.
Okay.
So nikachukua ile namba, na ile namba nilipata kibahati sana kwa sababu mamake alitumia kupigia huyo taxi driver. Sasa mimi nikampigia yule taxi driver nikamwambia njoo Karen.
Okay.
Huyo Robert ametoka, mamake ametoka. Watu hawako, niko peke yangu alafu na kazini yake mmoja hapo. Mnyamaza. Nikasema leo nikapaki vitu vyangu vote, mizigo nini, nguo zangu tangu nimetoka Mombasa. Niko na mizigo hapo, nikapaki nikaeka hapo. So ile kazini yake kwa bahati mbaya, nitasema ni bahati mbaya. Alikuwa aje kwa ile room sijui kufanya nini. Akaona ile mizigo. Akaniangalia, akaangalia ile mizigo, akatoka nje haraka. Akaenda akapiga simu bwana. Akamwambia kazini yake.
Akamwambia una plan kutoroka.
Nimepaki mizigo yangu. Yaani kidogo sasa mimi nimekaa pale naangalia saa, taxi driver namuuliza uko wapi? Naja. Akiingia tu hivi.
Taxi driver nao.
Ameingia vizuri kwa gari. Mimi nataka kushika mizigo. Robert Burale ameingia kwa geti na gari ni kama mbaya atagonga watu. Ashaitwa. Akapita yule taxi driver na mimi ndo nang'ang'ana kutoa mizigo hivi. Naona taxi driver amegeuka naenda. Akinililia. I don't know what was going on, but it was so confusing and it was bad. Nikalia Robert akaingia akaona mizigo. Akaniambia unataka kwenda wapi? Nikamwambia niwache niende. I was crying. I was like, let me go. What is going on? Akaanza pia oh no, we'll work it out. I will take you. Mimi nalia naomba niwache niende saa hizi. Nataka kwenda saa hizi.
Mizigo yangu ndo hii.
Hakuniacha.
You know, so she has to actually plan an escape from his house. An escape, a planned escape. Escape. That's how serious it is, escape. And I would just like us to take a minute to remember mothers of boys. Always at the scene of the fucking crime. Always. His mother knew. She had to have known. What is this woman doing in your house? What is she doing in your house for more than a month? Almost a month. She doesn't leave. You people leave. You go where you want. You come back. She doesn't leave. What do you imagine is happening? What do you imagine is happening? Mothers of boys, they will never beat the allegations. They're always at the scene of the crime. So, she has to plan an escape. You know, and we'll talk about this later, but one recurring theme among women in abusive relationships is the confusion, like, how we live in the because what do you mean he won't let you leave? Robert comes, so the cousin sees her trying to leave, calls Robert comes with like, in a rush, whatever, looking all mad, and he comes and she's crying. And he still won't let her live. Oh, I'll take you. She is crying. And he still won't let her leave. I want you to think about this moment the next time you hear this nigga's name. I want you to think about this. Because this is abusive behavior. Any normal man, any normal motherfucker would just let you leave. You'd be like, oh, I didn't know, like, it was this, you were taking it this hard, like, I'm gonna take it to your brother. She's crying. He still didn't let her live. When you hear this story, when you think about this nigga again, I want you to think about this. This is part of abusive behavior. That's what this is. It's abusive behavior. It's part of a pattern of abusive behavior.
Unasema kwamba unamwambia nataka kuenda kwa bro wangu.
Yeah.
Alafu
kila siku story inabadilika. Siku zinaenda.
Yes.
But the thing was also mamake alinipokea vizuri sana, alikuwa ananipenda sana by the way. Yes. I appreciate that. Lakini nikaanza kuona mambo hapana. Unaona? Hapo tena nikaanza kuona kuna issues nyingi.
Gani tena? Na uko nyumbani umetulia, mama anakupenda, umetulia, Burale mwenyewe pia. Kuna issues gani?
Do you see that? Mothers of boys always at the scene of the crime. Mamake alikuwa ananipenda. What is that? Hiyo ni mapenzi azina upendo yeye na gani? What kind of love is that? What kind of love is that? Mamake hakuwa anakupenda. What do you mean mamake alikuwa anakupenda? Hakuwa anakupenda hata kidogo. The only person that woman loves is her son. The only person mothers of boys TM love is their sons. That's it.
So mimi niko pale kwake. Asha insist tunawana. Tushakuja tumepigwa picha za engagement. By the way tulifanya hata engagement shoot kwao ndani ya nyumba. Kwao ndani. Photographer aliitwa kuja pale.
Okay.
So anyway, long story short, tulifanya engagement. Tulianza kabla nitoke pale hiyo time nilienda Karen. Tulianza tayari kupanga wedding. Ndio nikatoka
kabla hiyo time yako.
Okay. Kabla nitoke pale kwake hiyo
time ya kujaribu kuescape.
Nikakaa nikatulia, tukaanza sasa kupanga wedding. Mamake yeye tukasema okay, so we're going to do this. Sasa nikitoka sikuja kwako, nikaenda sasa Mombasa because now we're talking about what? Marriage. So lazima niende Mombasa nitayarishe watu. Nina.
Waambie madhe na watu.
Exactly.
Yes.
Unaona mothers of boys again. Can you see it? She's there planning, helping plan the wedding. Yeah, Robert Burale na Rozinah. Where's Rozinah's mother? Where is she the one who's there? Where are Rozinah's friends? They're helping plan the wedding. This is the second time these people are meeting in person. She is being held hostage in his house. Mamake anasaidia kuplan wedding. the level of control here. The engagement photo shoot was done in their house. Where are her friends? Where's her mother? Where's her input? It was done in their house. The engagement photo shoot was done in their house. Red flag. This level of control portends terrible things in the future. Y'all are not even married. He's controlling your movement. He's controlling when the wedding is going to be. He's controlling things like photo shoots. This is part of a pattern of abusive behavior. This is part of a pattern of abusive behavior.
Kuna urongo mwingi sana. Alafu kuna ile, yani kama kwa mfano tutaenda na hatuendi.
Okay.
Nikajua kwamba hana intention ya kwamba mimi nitoke.
Okay.
Sasa nikipata hizo communications za watu wengine, watu wakisema pia the same story that he used with me, he's using the same stories with a lot of other women. Hiyo ya pesa, hiyo ya kwamba nitakuoa. He's using the same story with a lot of other women, and people are sending me messages and people
confirming that.
Yes. I know him. He also wanted to marry me. I know him. Men are like, oh, do you know him? You know all those things, and then himself say one thing, do another totally different thing. Himself being very like this.
Okay.
Unanielewa? Utajua tu mtu kama ni mkweli. It's not straightforward.
Okay.
Do you see that? Do you see how the clarity with which Rozinah speaks? Akono urongo mwingi. He says one thing and does another. All of these people calling to ask, unamjua kweli? All of these women saying, alisema pia mimi atanioa. All of these people saying the same lies alitumia na wewe he's using on me. You need to be very careful about people who are not straightforward. Urongo mwingi. Liars. Abusers are liars. Abusers are master manipulators. They are master performers. Abusers are liars. It is part of the pattern of behavior. Abusers are liars.
And by the way, the minute nilikutana na Robert Burale, watu wakaanza kupata fununu niko naye. Nikaanza kupokea, sijui watu walipata wapi namba yangu. Text zikaanza kuingia. Chungana, you seem like a nice person. Do you know this guy? Kwa Facebook, hatukuwa na TikTok, Instagram hizi zote. Watu wananiambia ambao si wajui. Unaona?
Okay.
I don't know these people.
Red flag. Strangers telling you chungana nae. Red flag.
And that's another thing about another lesson that I would say. If you have people, because me, watu ambao nilikuwa naongea nao, mami for example, my mom aliniambia tulivyokutana na Robert Burale ya kwamba haoni sana mwangaza. Unaona? Na mimi sijui kwa nini sikumsikia, and I want to take accountability. And I want to tell someone that if you have people who love you and people see you with someone, na kwambia hapa sioni, msikize tu. Msikize, especially kama ni mtu mzima na nakupenda, msikize, you know? So for me on my part, that was something that I did not do. Anyway, tukawana.
All right. Anyone else ambaye alikwambia giza? Anaona giza sio mwangaza? Anyone else?
Kwa watu ambao ni wa umuhimu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ama kuna watu wengine?
My late sister Amy pia.
Okay.
She mentioned it.
Okay.
And nyinyi hamukusema direct.
Yes.
Nyinyi kama wanaume hamuku niambia direct.
Yes.
But even as my brothers, I remember you asking me, Rozinah, uko sure? Uliniuliza tu uko sure ni huyu. Unajua mtu akikuuliza uko sure ni huyu. Sasa sijui anamaanisha nini. Sasa unataka nikwambie niko sure, unaona? But anyway, there was those ones.
Yeah.
But strangers, wale ni wale watu wangu wa karibu. Strangers wengi waliniona. Strangers.
Walikuona.
Watu ambao siwajui.
Through phone calls ama text messages
ama phone
Facebook.
Calls, Facebook. Wao wanasema sisi tunamjua. Unajua mimi Nairobi watu walikuwa wanamjua.
Yes.
Mimi simjui.
Yes.
So watu waliniona kupitia simu, kupitia Facebook. But mimi naye na foolishness yangu nilikuwa nikitumiwa message au nikipigiwa namwambia Robert Burale. Namwambia.
Wewe na vipi wewe?
Ndio hivyo sasa.
Wewe basi
imagine.
Watu nakwambia wewe unamwambia?
Upumbavu wangu. Namwambia alafu
Hao watu wanakuambia in privacy.
Yes.
Hao watu wanakuambia chini ya maji.
Yes.
Wanakutumia SMS.
Yes.
Na Facebook.
Yes.
Wewe unamwambia?
Mimi namwambia. Maana mimi pia sijui kama ni wa ukweli. Siwajui. Unajua Alex, understand that everybody is like a stranger, and from the way that Robert is portraying, it is me and you against the world.
Okay.
You understand?
All right, so everyone is against you guys.
Yes. Me and you what? Against the world. So nobody is looking out for us. We need to look out for ourselves.
Major red flag. Major red flag. Us against the world. Us against the world. One of the key weapons in the arsenal of an abuser is us against the world. It's isolation. It's isolation. They need to put you in a situation where it's just you. It's just you and him. There's nobody else. It's just you and him. So that when the abuse starts in earnest, not really starts because it's already started by the time he's isolating you. When it gets worse, you have nowhere to go. There's no escaping. You have nowhere to go. You're not going anywhere. Right? That's what an abuser wants. They want to know that their hold on you is, well, permanent and changed. You know, it's not going anywhere. Be very wary. Be very wary of people who us against the world. That's just a good song. That's it. It's a good song, period.
So I think, I could be wrong, but I think Robert wanted to keep me in his sight so that nisijue mambo mengi. Me, that is what I think.
What do you mean by keeping you on his sight?
Macho yake kwangu kila wakati. Akitoka yeye yuaenda zake, yuaniacha kwao. Sasa hiyo nini? Ama nikisema nataka kwenda mahali, anipeleke akae, nifanye hiyo shughuli nimalize, nitoke nirudi. Yani hakuwa anataka nimtoke kwa macho yake.
Okay.
And I remember one time I came to your place, by the way. Katika hiyo siku nikamwambia mimi nataka kwenda kwa Alex. Alinileta, nikakaa mimi nilikuwa nataka hiyo siku nikae kwako nilale kwako.
Nakumbuka.
Alikaa na akalala pale. Do you remember that day?
Nakumbuka.
I hope you remember that day.
Nakumbuka.
He stayed and slept there because me I insisted I'm going to stay here.
Nakumbuka.
He also slept there.
Nakumbuka.
So that in the morning tutoke tuende. Lakini kuniwacha na mtu yoyote alikuwa anaona ni kama hatari yale mahusiano yetu. Because
kwa nini lakini?
Sijui, lakini people were telling me things about.
Ama hiyo ndo njia yake ya kupenda. Maybe that's how
I don't know, but you know the things that people were telling me.
Do you think it's a mistake for a man to be with a girlfriend?
No, that's hiding something.
Oh, that's hiding something.
Yes, that's hiding something.
Sio kuwa over-possessive.
Over-possessive is also not a good thing. Because why are you over-possessing someone, a whole human being?
Okay.
A whole human being has a life.
So there's a danger there.
There's a big danger.
So when you're dating someone, mwenye anakatalia sana, there's a danger.
Na anakuseparate na watu wako.
Okay.
Because that was also separating me from my friends, from my family. Unanielewa? From life.
Okay.
This is a danger.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, siku moja, baada naona mambo natumiwa matext nini na nini, nikimuuliza ni vita na hivyo ni kuniambia, we watu wanatuonea wivu, watu ni wachawi, watu ni nini, you know, all those things.
Okay.
Alafu inakuwa vita.
Anyone isolating you does not have good intentions concerning you.
Sasa unaona, in fact, hata ukisema hivyo nakumbuka, watu wengi sana wale walikuwa kwa sakoli yangu. Nilikuwa hata mtu akinipigia. Sasa wale ambao hata nawajua, wakinipigia simu, vita, huyu akutaka. Awe ni mwanaume yonitaka, awe ameoa au kuoa yokutaka. Vita, unabidi unaacha. Awe ni mwanamke, huyo ni lesbian. Yani ilikuwa hakutaka relationship yangu yeyote. In fact, hata kuna time, hata wewe ilikuwa ni ngumu sana kucommunicate.
It's true.
Nilikuwa na Robert Burale nimeolewa, simu yangu itakaa kwa miezi. Kimya. Manake nishaambia watu, usinipigie simu nimeolewa. Sasa huo ni mfumzi gani?
Usinipigie simu?
Usinitafuta uniletea vita. Usinipigie simu ni vita.
Sasa uko kwa ndoa unapigia watu kuambia nimeolewa. Msinipigie nimeolewa.
Mimi nataka kuwa bibi amenyenyekea anasikiza mume wake jamani.
Sasa unapigia watu kuambia msinipigie.
Msinipigie simu aniletea vita ndani ya ndoa.
Hao watu wanasemaje? I would want to know.
Wanashapigwa na butwa. Wanapigwa na butwa. Kwani wewe ndio wa kwanza kuelewa?
Sasa umeolewa tusiongee na wewe. Hello? Umeolewa tusiongee na wewe.
Anyway,
are you serious?
I'm very serious. Actually, after I left,
you called your friends?
Yes, I started calling people back to apologize and to start creating my relationships again after that. It was
Mmoja kwa marafiki zako unawapigia ukawaambia wasikupigie.
Nilikuwa nawaambia ukweli, unajua uzuri wangu Alex,
yes.
Napenda kuwa tu real. I like to be real. Like for example, I accept I made a very big mistake. I'm coming back. I ask for forgiveness.
Yes.
This is what happened. I like to, yani napenda kukubali.
So you went back to your friends?
Yes.
After you left
of course.
the marriage?
Na wengi wakasema sawa bwana. Basi wacha tuendelee mali tuliwachia. But you see, the damage that has been done is really big. And it's like you have to start all over again.
Yeah.
But ile kitu najaribu kusema ni kwamba usikubali kuwa isolated.
Okay.
For whatever reason.
All right.
Usikubali kuwa isolated. Social system yako lazima ibakie intact.
Yeah.
Hata ukiwa katika mahusiano. Hata kama ni labda kuna watu ambao wale unaona ni watu wabaya we mwenyewe katika urafiki wa mtu sawa, lakini sio kila mtu ni mbaya. Unanielewa?
Yeah.
Na
for you it was kila mtu ni mbaya.
Kila mtu ni mbaya. Everyone is bad. Everyone. And so haiwezi kuwa hivyo.
Okay.
I really love the openness with which she speaks. Sorry, just the way she's like, how dumb was that? And I don't know, I think there's something so admirable, something so heroic feels feels a little dramatic, but almost heroic, like another word. It's very brave. Brave is a less melodramatic word. It's very brave.
Sasa unapigia watu kuambia msinipigie.
Msimpigie simu andetea vita ndani ya ndoa.
This is I love how she puts it. Msinipigie simu mnaniletea vita ndani ya ndoa. The thing is, a good number of abusers, there are abusers who will come out and say, don't talk to these people, don't engage, don't meet this person. But a good number of abusers would use reverse psychology and tactics on you. So every time you get phone calls from people, they get really mad and like kuna vita. And so what happens is you connect the dots for yourself and you're like, okay, yeah. So when I talk to people, when people call me in a later fights, so you do the needful, 1 + 1 2. So you eliminate the causes of the fight. You yourself make the decision to tell people not to call you because in a later video. And when he's asked, he'll be like, yo, I ain't telling shit. I ain't telling not to speak to people. I ain't telling not to call people. I ain't telling to tell people not to call her. I ain't say shit. And when you look at it, it's like, yeah, he didn't say shit. But, he led her there. Like, he set the pieces in motion. And he knew exactly what conclusion he wanted. And he got it. He 1 + 1 did, and he got 2. He just didn't have to say it. And this is part of what is very confusing, I think, for perhaps the victims and also people who are viewing from outside. It's like, he didn't tell you to do that, so why'd you do it? But if every time watu wananipigia simu ni vita, like that's the logical thing to do in that situation, I guess.
Umeolewa tusiongee na wewe?
Anyway,
are you serious?
I'm very serious. Actually, after I left,
you called your friends?
Yes, I started calling people back to apologize and to start creating my relationships again after that. Na wengi wakasema sawa bwana. Basi wacha tuendelee mali tuliwachia. But you see, the damage that has been done is really big. And it's like you have to start all over again.
Yeah.
I really like what she says. She says she had to start over. The damage was done already. The damage was done. And this is a reminder. This is a reminder to all of us, right? That it's not just physical violence that harms people, that causes lasting damage. The damage was done in this situation with her relationship. She had to start over. She had to start over with all of these people. Go back and say, okay, yeah, like, I'm so sorry. That was some bullshit. I am so sorry. Like, would you like to resume our relationship? Dude. somebody can cause lasting damage to your life without ever physically harming you.
Kuna sijui niite ni manipulation ama ni strategy ama ni nini. Lakini kuna vile unaweza jazwa akili na maneno ya mtu ukakosa kuona ukweli vile ambavyo uko.
Okay, I will not marry, maybe umeeleza sababu kadhaa, ulisema I will not marry. But hii sababu ilisema let me just get married. Hii ni sababu gani?
Hiyo ni convincing power.
Ya Robert Burale.
Hiyo acha tumpatie bana. Tumpatie hizo flowers. Hiyo ile convincing power ya Robert Burale. Me, that one I will not take any credit for that.
Convincing power ya one man.
Everything was telling me don't. Everything, everyone, don't. Only one person said let us do it. And I listened to that one.
So you were walking down the aisle, lakini roho yako haikuwa pale.
Haikuwa pale.
What were you thinking as you were walking down the aisle?
Mungu nisaidie. I hope that everything will work. I'm hanging on to hope that all these things that people are saying and I'm thinking and I'm feeling, it's the false. That it will be good. Na mimi ndo najipatia false hope. Matumaini ya uongo mimi ndo najipatia mwenyewe. Ya kwamba haiwezi kuwa watu wote wanakuambia ni makosa. Roho Mtakatifu haiwezi kukuambia ufanye kitu ambacho ufai. Mungu, that is. So mimi naenda tu, I'm just taking the words of Robert Burale, even though he has proved himself to me many times that there's so much falsehood and deception around him, but I'm still choosing to trust him. I don't understand that even.
Once again, do you hear how she said she doesn't even understand it? Even now, a hallmark of abuse and abusers is confusion. Like, you don't even understand what's happening. You don't even understand. You can't make sense of it. And this is one of the reasons why people are told you leave an abuser as soon as possible. Like, as soon as you find out that this person has questionable conduct, you leave them. And you leave them immediately. Because manipulation is not a joke. Psychological mind games are not a joke. They're not a joke. Some podcast, some woman, she's a researcher on domestic violence. She's talking about how even if you know the tactics, even if you know what strategy, what game someone is running on you, it will still work. It'll still work on you, even if you know what they're doing. This is why once you find out somebody is a liar and a manipulator, you don't confront them and say, oh, I know what you're doing. Like, you're doing this to try and confuse me and manipulate me. Like, no, you run. Right? We're all just scary levels of susceptible to manipulation. Run. Don't try to negotiate. Don't try to think about it. Don't try to confront them. Don't try to, convince yourself that, now that you know what's happening, you're armed. You're not armed. You're not prepared. You're weak and susceptible, like the rest of us, to manipulation. Leave. And this is not victim blaming. It's not about blaming the victims. It's about an opportunity for us to learn from their stories. So you run. You run as far away and as fast as you can.
And I can also say for a fact that when I was walking down the aisle, I did not feel that I'm actually doing what I need to be doing.
Really?
Yes. And also, napenda kujournal, napenda kuandika sana. Nilipotoka nilienda nikaangalia journal yangu, nilikuwa nimeandika mara 3 different days that I will not marry Robert Burale with my own handwriting. So on the wedding day, because it's a wedding day, people have gathered. It is here. You're happy, but you're also, am I doing the right thing? That thing at the back of your mind. Because so much has happened until that.
You unanipatia maswali. You actually wrote on your journal.
Yes.
I will not marry Robert Burale.
Yes.
3 times.
3 times.
Different occasions.
Yes. The Holy Spirit. Hapo sasa ni
uliandika na maneno yako mwenyewe.
Kabisa mimi mwenyewe.
Na kalamu na karatasi.
Yes.
And this is before you got married to Robert.
Yes.
And you still got married to Robert.
Yes.
Why?
Nakwambiaje wewe usema mimi ni kichwa ngumu ndio? Disobedience even from the Holy Spirit, disobedience
From your mom, from the Holy Spirit.
mom, from people
And strangers who are telling
strangers. Imagine. And that's why mimi nikisema kivyangu, the biggest mistake that I ever made in my life is marrying Robert Burale. I know why.
Okay. The biggest angoa.
My biggest mistake in life is marrying Robert Burale.
Really?
Na siko baya.
Really?
Yes. And the darkest period in my life was when I was with Robert Burale.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
And yes. And by the way, sisemi ati nini, like that was how it happened. I have grown. I have healed again. I must insist. I have moved on. And I thank God for that. Lakini mpaka wa leo, nikiwa nimefika 50 years last month.
Yeah.
My biggest mistake in life was marrying Robert Burale. And that was the darkest period in my life.
She calls it the Holy Spirit. I would call it intuition. And I think that there's something about the way our society is structured that forces us or socializes us to silence that voice that's telling us no, or that's giving us this other information. There's something about the way we have structured this society that just, leads us to silence that voice. Or even worse, at least she had it, that even eliminates our ability to hear that voice. And it's very sad. It's very sad because her intuition was telling her 3 times. On 3 separate occasions, she wrote it down. And it had to have been telling her more than that. This is just the number of times she wrote it down. But it was telling her, and she wasn't listening. For whatever reason, she wasn't listening. And I guess this is just an important reminder from her to just believe the testimony of your own mind and body. Like they're telling you something. Listen.
Celibacy bado iliendelea though.
Ati?
Unaona hiyo celibacy tulikuwa. It went on. And sasa mimi bado pale nafikiria pengine okay.
Ngoja shikilia kidogo.
Angoja kwanza.
Shikilia kidogo. Shikilia kidogo. Unasema nini Rozinah wewe? Mpaka dakika hii celibacy iliendelea South Africa?
Yes.
Mulika South Africa kwa muda gani?
Unajua wewe ni kakangu. Tulikaa kwa, I think it was maybe, I don't know if it was 10 days or something like that.
Honeymoon?
Yes. Unajua? Kakangu na wewe ni mdogo wangu.
Kweli?
Sijui pia kanisa pia inatusaidia ama sijui kama inatusaidia kama wanandoa. Kwanza wadada katika wanandoa. Okay, mimi sikuwa na feel nafaa kuuliza.
It's true.
You're like,
because
what's
you're
going
the woman.
Yes. You understand. So it's like, I don't know what is going on. And it was very... Anyway. Because I don't want to focus on that part.
Okay.
So much.
So
celibacy, wajua tu celibacy iliendelea.
I want to read you something from Landy Bancroft's book, Why Does It Do That? So it's from the section about abuses and sex and the different ways that abusers perceive it. So as with all other things, for abusers, everything is about control. And so sex is also about control. Let's read a tiny part. The abuser who isn't interested in sex, at least not anymore. Here's what it says. Not every abusive man is pressuring or demanding with respect to sex. In fact, a substantial number of the partners of my clients complain of the opposite problem. The man has lost sexual interest almost completely, and the woman is feeling rejected and hungry for sex and affection. His drop in sexual energy can be propelled by several forces, including a substantial portion of abusive men are sexually shallow and so are only attracted to women with whom they have not had sex, or to those they have been with only a few times. Similarly, he may be incapable of sustained sexual attraction to any woman who doesn't meet his exaggerated ideal. He may be attracted primarily to sex involving domination, referred to by some researchers as the sexualization of subordination. As your relationship progresses, he may feel disappointed to discover that you don't fit his fantasy of a concubine, submissive and servile. He may be punishing you for some way you have challenged him, or for some time when you have not felt like having sex with him. It is common for abusive men to withhold sex as a control tactic. If he is indeed having an affair, his energy for sex at home is bound to be siphoned off a little. He may be addicted to drugs or alcohol. Some substance abusers lose their sex drive. And he may be gay. A small number of my clients have eventually admitted to their partners or to me that they are primarily attracted to men. In a slightly larger but still small number of cases, the man never admits that he is gay, but the woman either catches him with a man or realizes that he spends most of his time at gay hangouts or with gay friends. Just because a man is gay doesn't mean that he can't be abusive to women. He may, for example, use a female partner as window dressing to give him social respectability, diverting attention from his homosexuality. This is simply another example of how abusive men, straight or gay, tend to use women for selfish purposes. And finally, he may ration out sex as a way to gain power, sensing that you will try extra hard to keep him happy in hopes of getting him interested in lovemaking. That's Bancroft on the abuser who isn't interested in sex, at least not anymore.
Now, then there was this thing with cops calling me.
Cops calling you?
Yeah, because people owing him money, ameambia watu hivi na story mingi.
Okay.
You know that story?
No, I remember there was a time. There was that period of time when kulikuwa na hizo stories za watu hata katika mtandao, hata katika Facebook sana. I remember that story.
Yeah. So mimi, I was caught in the inaitwaje?
Middle of all that.
Yes. So
police
wananipigia mimi, sasa wananitishia me, I don't even know, I have no idea. You understand?
Okay.
And people also. And one time nikuwa kanisani, mapolisi wanakuja wananiambia watanishika kama ya yuko. And
kanisani?
Yes. Mimi natoka kwa
wanakuja kanisani?
Yes, because they know that is where he fellowships.
Okay.
But sasa yeye akijua ameandamwa sana, hata kuja na mimi, atasema ameitwa mahali kuhudumu. Kumbe hata nitamkuta yako tu kwa nyumbani. Na ataniacha mimi niende huko. Watu wanikujie mimi. Unanielewa? So alikuwa anani expose tu. And one time wapolisi wasema tutakubeba wewe alafu atakukujia. Tukikushika wewe si tutajua yeye atakuja. Nikamwambia by that time nilikuwa nimeshajua huyu. Nikamwambia hata kuja jamani. Hata nikujia. Hata nikujia. Msinishike. Hata nikujia jamani.
Really?
Yes.
Wakaniwacha.
Because wanafikiria ati mimi nitakuwa kama ile collateral sijui inaitwanga manini.
Yeah.
He won't come for me.
Okay.
And hizo vitu zilikuwa nyumbani wa polisi, huku wa polisi. And he's taking money, na hii pesa sijui hata inaenda wapi.
Kwa nyumba ionekani?
Nyumba hatulipi. Tunaenda kufukuzwa.
Really?
Yes. It's not like there's anything big. I don't understand. That was another thing. Where is that money going? Because there's something I don't know about you. Unanielewa? Si ati kwamba nataka ile pesa.
Yes.
Lakini, where is that money going? Do you have another life? Do you have another venture that I don't know about? You can't take 250, 50, 70 from people. Na mimi sielewi pesa iko wapi.
Okay.
Na naishi na wewe. That was another.
Now, did you hear that? So, he willfully, deliberately endangers her. Willfully, deliberately endangers her. Police are looking for him, right? So he stays at home. He lets her go out there, knowing people are looking for him, and so they could take her. Or at the very least, they'll approach her and give her hell for it. Recklessly endangering her. And then there's all the secrecy. She says, like, I don't know you. I don't know what you're doing. Where's the money going? This is another hallmark of abusers. They're secretive, right? One of the key things that family abusers and the ones who commit familicide, which is to say the ones who kill their entire families, one of the common threads that they have is the secrecy. Abusers are very secretive. Like, you don't know what's going on with them. They maintain this air of, mystery. They're mysterious. They're always mysterious. In fact, I think the first chapter of Bancroft's book is titled The Mystery. Because that's abusers. They're mysterious. Yeah. That's a red flag. Mysterious man.
Nitamuitia hata majambazi. Mimi hata sitadili na polisi, hivyo ndo aliniambia.
Wow.
Aliniambia mimi sitadili na polisi. Manake polisi nikaa ambaye amewaeka hapa. Baadaye kuna siku polisi walikuja paka nyumbani kumchukua mimi nikiwa. Venye walianza kucheka na yeye na ku-high five hivi wakigeuza gari waende. Anyway.
Ahlan wa sahlan.
So huyo msichana akakasirika, akaleta hiyo story nilivyojua kwamba wale walikuwa ndani ya nyumba.
This is a story from finally when she left. She had guests. He borrowed money from one of the guests, and then he didn't pay her back. And the woman said she was going to organize gangsters. One Kuji, Robert. She wasn't going to call the police because he's chummy with the police. Another interesting thing about abusers, a red flag. Abusers are very chummy with police. A good number of abusers actually talk about how when the police would be called and they would just charm them. Police would be called to a house because the man was beating up his wife, and he would just come out and charm the police. And the police would look at the man's wife, how crazy she is, crying like hysterical, and they'd be like, "Oh, you're going through a lot. That's a hysterical woman." And also worth noting is police themselves are abusers, so it makes sense that they would be charming with other abusers. Just saying. Be very wary.
That was another thing.
All right.
That was, I'm scared. I don't know what's going on. That was another thing.
All right.
That was, I'm scared. I don't know what's going on.
Another common thread among all victims of abuse, a very common thread, they're very scared. Fear is always present in those relationships where there's abuse. Fear is always present. And this is why I really support gentle parenting, because I think parenting where you beat your child, it sends the message that fear and love can coexist. And so if fear and love can coexist between a parent-child relationship, then it stands to reason that fear and love can coexist in relationships between adults. But the Bible says, for those who follow that book, the Bible says there's no fear in love. There's no fear in love. There's no fear in love. If there is fear, then there's no love. There's no love. Or that love, it needs some work. There's no love. There's no fear in love.
Na nikajua pia pengine alikuwa ananiweka pale kwa sababu, yani Robert alikuwa anataka kunioa sana. Mimi sijui kwa nini by the way. Unaona saa hizi najiulizanga swali. Unaona vile nyinyi mnauliza maswali? Mimi najiuliza, why did Robert actually want to marry me? That's the question that I have.
Okay.
Why did he want to marry me?
Mpaka leo haujui?
Sijajua.
Okay.
Sijui kabisa na sijaelewa.
All right.
But it was not because of love.
Really?
No.
Really?
Hapana. Because hakuna mwanamke anaweza kukataa mapenzi.
Okay.
Kutoka kwa mwanaume.
Really?
Haikuwa mapenzi. There's too many things that you don't understand. And the reason why also sometimes you can't tell people something, and I'm saying this to someone, it's because you can't put a finger to it. Yani huwezi kudescribe hiyo kitu inaendelea kwa maisha yako. You don't have words. Unanielewa?
Okay.
Because hata wewe mwenyewe uelewi ni nini ya kwamba utaambia mtu wewe shida yako, kama vile unaniuliza hiyo deception. It is the way he was behaving.
All right.
Words and actions and his life. I can't tell you this and this and this and this specifically. I can tell you when we got married, it got more clear.
Okay.
Sasa ndani ya ndoa. Ndani ya ndoa sasa.
All right.
Unaona?
All right. It got more clearer.
It got more clearer. And that is why I left once, twice and 3 times. Unanielewa? Na amefanya vile. Na mambo yote yale mengi mengi sana, mambo ni mengi ajabu. Mengi sana. Kuna wakati hata ilikuwa ni kama mbe nasikia siwezi, emotionally, mentally, it was too much. So mimi nikaondoka. So ni drama, ni movie.
Too much. Hiyo sinema nyingi sana.
Nyingi kwa maisha yangu bwana. Alafu unajua mimi mambo ni mengi. Huku mapolisi, huku wanawake, huku sijui nani, huku sielewi, yani ni kama ambaye.
I really like it. I love how she speaks throughout the story. So she said she doesn't know why Robert married her. Na haikuwa mapenzi. And like, she remains, confused essentially highly why he married her. And I love that. I love that so much. I love it so much. Because I think a lot of times people deceive themselves and you'll say, oh, he loved me and then things happened or he changed. Like, none of that. He never loved her. He never married her because he loved her. Like, that wasn't it. We don't know why he did it, but that wasn't it. And speaking of not knowing things, I want to play you a series of clips where she says she was confused. And this is one of the biggest signs that something is wrong, that there is abuse, confusion.
Hiyo ni moja. Anyway,
ukauliza ikawa issue.
Ikawa tu ni issue kama kila kitu. Me, one thing that what I can say is that in our marriage there was no issue that was ever resolved. No, not even one. Ilikuwa ukileta issue ni vita inabaki. Ukisema hivi, hakuna resolution.
Okay.
Lakini si vita, ukiuliza kitu ni vita tu. Oh, wewe ni mbaya, oh, wewe unawazimu, oh, wewe sijui ni nini.
Usiache vitu hanging.
Alafu unafanya ule mwenye anakuuliza ni kwamba yeye ndo akuna issue. You understand?
Okay.
Did you hear that? She says in their marriage there was never any resolution to anything. Unaleta issue inakuwa vita and then there's never any and then makosa inakuwa kwa mwenye alileta hiyo issue. Right? That is classic abuse. Nothing gets resolved. Whoever raises the issue ina turn out kwa vita and then makosa iko kwako. Somehow you're the one who's at fault. It's called DAVO. Deny, attack, reverse, victim and offender. So mara kwanza, like kama in the case of the video, you start by denying. Ikitusi yangu, it's not there, and then unageuzia huo mtu. You attack them and then una reverse victim and offender. So now you are the injured party. Makosa iko kwa whoever raised the issue. Let's say it again.
Ilikuwa ukileta issue ni vita inabaki. Ukisema hivi, hakuna resolution.
Okay.
Lakini si vita, ukiuliza kitu ni vita tu. Oh, wewe ni mbaya, oh, wewe unawazimu, oh, wewe sijui ni nini.
Usiache vitu hanging.
Alafu unafanya ule mwenye anakuuliza ni kwamba yeye ndo akuna issue. You understand?
Okay.
Bas, classic Davo. Mwenye anauliza ni yeye akuna issue. Whoever brings it up, now you're the offender and they're the victim. Davo, classic Davo. That is a sign, that is a tactic that is used by abusers. That is classic abusive behavior. Classic. That one is straight from the classics.
Is that something because umesema pale, this was your darkest time?
Yeah.
Katika maisha yako yote, 50 years. Is there one moment that you can remember in this marriage? Unaweza sema this was the darkest moment.
Yeah, there was a time.
Yes.
Nilikuwa kwa depression kwanza mbaya sana, number 1.
Okay.
Nilikuwa kama zombie. Nakumbuka kuna wakati watu walikuja kuniambia hata nishindwe kwenda kanisa. I was just there crying. And then there was another time. Unajua ile, I say that suicide is a spirit. It's a spirit that attacks someone when you've gone through so much depression. All you can think about is, I think I should just die. And mimi nilifika hapo. I should just die.
Ukiwa ndani ya ndoa?
Yes.
Okay.
And one day, Robert alikuwa ametoka ameenda sijui wapi. I remember I sat on the couch. I went and pick a kitchen knife. Yeah. Hata sijaambia mtu by the way. And that thing haunted me for so long. In that healing, that thing haunted me. I picked a kitchen knife. I sat on the couch na nikashika ile kisu na naipress kwa tumbo. Na sasa hiyo kwa akili yako unajiambia tu, I should just die.
What?
Yes. Yeah. Nikiwa peke yangu. I should just, nimeshikilia hivi. I don't know how long I held that knife. Tears just falling down my face. and thinking I should just die. By the way. Yeah, and imagine now, even though, and mimi squeeze naelewa watu wa suicide, honestly speaking, you need to, lazima ukwe grounded sana. Lazima Mungu akusaidie na akutoe. Lazima Mungu akusaidie na akutoe. Me when I speak about mami kutuombea, mimi nilikuwa nataka Alex, nilikuwa nimeshikilia kisu. So when the time he came, sijui nilikuwa nimekaa hapo for how long. Akanikuta tu bado nimekaa hivyo tu, niko hapo tu hivi. Hata yeye mwenyewe nafikiri alishtuka. I think at that point, I think he was like, what? Akaja akanipokonya ile kisu. What are you doing? And then I was looking a mess. What are you doing? Nini, stop this. And akachukua kisu, akaenda kaiweka huko, sijui kairusha wapi. And took me to the bathroom to go and shower. And because I was a mess. So when I say it was the darkest, because me personally, I'm a very positive person. I am a very positive person.
Because sijakujua hivyo.
Sasa nikikwambia siwezi kurudi, mimi najua. I know what I went through. And even if I don't have words to tell people, because some people tell me, even hata leo watu wakisoma wananiambia warudiane. Nasikia tu kuambia nyinyi, if you don't know someone's story, don't say warudiane. Usiambie mtu arudie mtu.
Once again, I just want to remind us, unaona how she keeps talking about the confusion. Like, you don't even know how to explain nini. Unaona how, like, you don't even know. Like, anasema, you don't even have the words. You don't even have the words. And speaking of depression and mental illness, this is from The Guardian. Abuse is the main driver of mental ill health in women and girls, say psychiatrists. In a separate article, it says on the link between mental health and domestic violence, the statistics. On average, more than half of the women seen in mental health settings are being or have been abused by an intimate partner. On average, more than half of the women seen in mental health settings are being or have been abused by an intimate partner. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. Someone does not have to physically harm you for them to cause you harm. They don't have to physically injure you to cause you harm. Deadly harm.
As in, would he tell you why he didn't want you to come?
No, but I'm telling you that a person who wants to control you, who wants to separate you, who wants to hide things from you that are so big, hawezi kutaka uwe uko nje tu. Manake utapata hizo information zote. Utajua ukweli. The minute you come out of his presence, ambayo ni ya kukuambia mambo mengi na kukujaza kichwa, utaka ufikirie, unaelewa?
Okay.
You'll have time to sit and think what's going on. So
right.
The strategy is also to keep you there so that he can continue telling you things and feeding your head and all of that. That's what I think.
The girl is right. She's right about that strategy, isolation. She's right. I mean, I just love, we're sort of coming to the end of it, but I absolutely love how she tells the story and how she gives her own reasoning for why he was acting the way he was. The truth is, if he had let her walk out, be out there listening to people, they probably would have never gotten married. And so that's why it was important for him to isolate her and keep her so close, so abusively close.
Ametoka Mombasa, anasema anakuja kwangu. Kumbe mimi sijui. Nashangaa huyu alikuwa ameniambia nitakuja kwako na nitakuja kukaa kwako. Hafiki. Kumbe Robert Burale wewe. My brother. Mpaka leo hii ndugu yangu. Burale ndugu yangu.
Sawa.
No,
but you can't make this thing
I had an
about
issue
that.
here with him when we were doing this show the other day. And he's a brother of mine.
Yeah.
Na mimi nampenda, sina ubaya naye.
I sincerely hope he's changed his mind. Na haconsider Burale, bado ndugu yangu sijui nini. But I don't think he's changed his mind. I think he believes that Burale has changed or whatever. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't pretend to understand the male instinct and the male desire to defend other men and stand by other men. Like, if that was my sister, like, I wouldn't even need to know what happened. He wouldn't still be my brother. If they're not together, fuck him. I'm not with him at all. Like, I don't even need to know why. If she left him, she had to have a good reason. If she's not fucking with him no more, I'm not fucking with him no more. It's just that simple. I don't understand this male instinct, this male desire, this male urge to stand with other men. Bado ndugu yangu, bado nampenda. Fuck that.
I mean, okay, allow me to say this. And okay, let me also make a disclaimer, if you allow me.
Okay.
Robert Burale is my ex-husband. It's been 12 years.
Okay.
We have both moved on.
Okay.
I have forgiven him. I have healed. I have grown.
Okay.
The reason nimekuja kwa hii show si kusema kitu yote negative about Robert Burale.
Okay.
Si kujaribu counter whatever he has said and whatever he has done. Ni kueleza yale yaliyotokea miaka 12 iliyopita. Unanielewa?
Growth, ladies and gentlemen, pause kidogo. Growth. Kukua. Ukomavu. Kiswahili inaitwa ukomavu. Watu wawili ambao waliwachana, miaka imepita, sahii wamekomaa. Umeelewa eh? Ukimsikia vile Burale aliongea katika the previous episode, sikia conversation, unaona kuna ukomavu. I like that one.
Yeah.
I like that.
So naomba nieleweke tafadhali. And so when I met him, now he may be a good person now.
Okay.
Grown, matured and everything. But when I met him, I don't think he was. And when I met him also, I don't think I was also that. And nobody's perfect, by the way.
Maybe he was young. Tuseme tu alikuwa
of course. Hiyo ni zamani. Mimi nasema tu.
I mean, the story happened 12 years ago.
12 years ago.
So it's been many years, guys. This is a story that happened a lot of years ago, like 13, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
We are just talking about it now because kila mtu ameheal. I believe Robert Burale aliheal pia. Kitambo hata ameniambia hapa, he's moved on.
Yes.
He has a new relationship. Rozinah pia ndo huyu move on. Isilete issue oya.
Isilete issue.
Instead of issues, focus on the lessons, because this is what the show is all about. Lessons, sio issues.
Yeah.
The truly unfortunate thing is abusers don't change. Abusers do not change. Abusers don't change. I would much prefer to live in a society in which abusers change, but abusers don't change. And the reason abusers don't change is because the benefits of abusing are too many. There are too many. There is no sense. There would be no sense in asking an abuser to change. Bancroft, in Why Does He Do That, says, quote, "Is it any wonder that abusive men are reluctant to change? The benefits of abuse are a major social secret, rarely mentioned anywhere. Is it any wonder that abusive men are reluctant to change? The benefits of abuse are a major social secret, rarely mentioned anywhere." When you think about it, if you think about it, there is no sense, there is no incentive at all for abusive men to change. On screen now, you'll see the benefits of abuse according to Bancroft and the benefits of abuse according to a guy called Chuck Derry, who used to run a batterer intervention program. There is no incentive at all for abusers to change. There is no reason for them to give up the luxury, the benefits that come with abuse. There's no sense in it. There is no sense in it. And it's time for the rest of us to just admit that. I would much rather live in a society in which abusers change, but that's not what we have. That is not the society we have. That's not the world we have. That being said, I would like to close with this thought experiment, shall we say. If you use a certain set of tactics, methods, behaviors to rise to the top, and how everybody likes you. You know, you're a pastor or whatever, social figure you may be. Everybody appreciates you. You're respected nationally and internationally. Why would you change? Why would you change? Like, why would you fuck with a system that works? Why? What's the sense in fucking with a formula that works? There's no sense in it. There's no sense in it. And for the most part, abusers get what they want. They get all of the benefits you see on screen. There's no sense. There is no sense in them changing. There's no reason to change a working formula. There's no reason at all. There's no sense in it. There's no sense in it. Let that sink in. There's no sense in it. There are no benefits to not abusing. Certainly not if you're an abuser. We have nothing to offer you on the side. Nothing at all. Nothing. You do not work, you do not fuck with a system that's working. There's no sense in fucking with a system that's working, that's taking you to the top, that's put you in a power position in a relationship. There's no sense in it. Let that sink in. That's it. Thanks for stopping by. Until next time, remember who you are. Love life, love people, and stay loony.